Hello, thank you very much. Thank you. Today, Johnson & Johnson announced that their vaccine candidate has reached the final stage of clinical trials. This is record time. This is the fourth vaccine candidate in the United States to reach the final stage of trials. So we have four candidates already at a very late date, late being a very positive word in this case. Earlier this year, Johnson & Johnson anticipated that they would reach phase 1 trials by September, but due to our support under Operation Warp Speed and to some of the incredible scientists involved, they've reached phase 3 trials by September, far ahead of schedule. We encourage Americans to enroll in the vaccine trial. It's not only interesting, it'll be a terrific thing for our country. We encourage everybody to enroll, as many people as we can. Today, my administration announced that we are awarding $200 million of CARES Act funding to all 50 states to prepare to distribute the vaccine to high-risk residents, and we want to do that the instant it is approved, not the following day, but the following moment. And so we're going to be doing that, and we'll be distributing, getting it ready, because we have some great vaccines going to be coming out through Operation Warp Speed. We also continue to accelerate life-saving therapies. We're seeing promising results that are
looking ahead, how to know.
Monoclonal antibody treatments, which help the immune system fight the virus and help very significantly, we're finding, can reduce hospitalizations now by more than 70%. By cutting red tape and unleashing America's medical genius, we've reduced the fatality rate 85% since April. For individuals under 50, they have a 99.98% rate of survival from the China virus. That's a number that's been really increasing substantially with time. As children go back to school, we're encouraged that early research shows only a small degree of spread. Brown University conducted a study of more than 550 schools across 46 states and found that only 0.076% of students had confirmed cases of the virus. That's a tiny percentage. And only 0.15% of teachers had confirmed cases. Patients coming to the emergency room due to the virus is down to only 1.6% of all emergency room visits, the lowest since the pandemic began. 1.6% emergency room visits. As far as protecting the vulnerable is concerned, we provided over $21 billion to our nursing homes. And we are really focused on the nursing homes, everybody, including our governors. We have governors are working very closely with the task force and with the vice president and everybody involved. We've sent rapid testing devices to nearly 14,000 certified nursing homes in the country. This week, we're sending hundreds of thousands of additional rapid tests to nursing homes to ensure they can test staff regularly. And the staff now is being tested on a very, very powerful and on a regular basis, but very strongly at the highest level on the best tests. We're encouraged that the number of Americans getting the flu vaccine is increasing by roughly 50% compared to last year. It's substantially up. The flu, when it's mixed with COVID or China virus, is going to be very interesting to see what happens, but that can drive numbers, and we just don't know what that will be yet, but you'll have flu numbers and you'll have some COVID numbers. I think we're rounding the turn very much. You see what's happening in Europe. However, they have a very big spike. Countries that we thought were doing well aren't doing well. They had some very big spikes, a very big surge. Months ago, we increased our nation's procurement of the flu vaccine by 66%. And we ask Americans to go get their annual flu shot as early as possible. It's possible, I would imagine, Scott, that the flu can get mixed up.
Every manager knows keeping track of your team's day-to-day workload is a challenge.
With the virus, and people can think it's the virus when actually it's another flu season coming on. And I don't know. I hope they can keep them separate. Can they keep them separate?
We hope so.
I doubt they will. It's going to be a very interesting time. But we have a flu season coming up. We've had some flu seasons which are really massive over the years, over many years, and we have some that are much less so. But it's still significant. So I hope they can separate them because it's pretty close. In the past 4 months, we've created 10.6 million jobs. We cut unemployment rate nearly in half. The unemployment rate is cut nearly in half. Larry Kudlow is here. He'll be discussing that in a little while. Retail sales are up 121%. That's far above what we thought. Manufacturing is up 61%. That's also above our schedule, and our schedule is a heavy schedule. Automobile production is up sixfold. Home builders' sentiment is at the highest level in history. That's an amazing statement, Larry, the highest level in history. That means people are thinking good thoughts. Home sales are at the highest level in nearly 15 years. Small business optimism is higher than any time under the last administration, substantially higher. Small business optimism higher than at any time over the last, more than the last administration. Today, I was proud to award 9 companies and organizations with the first ever Pledge to America's Workers Presidential Award. This award recognizes outstanding training programs that are giving Americans the skills to hone a trade and earn a great living. Great people. Over 400 companies have competed and committed to 16 million training opportunities for the American worker. And it's really been amazing. We've created the fastest economic recovery in American history. You're witnessing it. You're part of it. Our approach is pro-science. Biden's approach is anti-science. If you look, I don't think they know what their approach is, although a lot of it's copied from what we've done. Biden opposed the China travel ban and the Europe travel ban. And the strategy that they have is just never-ending lockdowns. We're not locking down. We're actually growing at a rate that we've never experienced before. But they're talking about if you have a question, just lock it down. We're not doing that. And you can't do that. Our plan will crush the virus. And actually, Biden's plan will crush America if you think about it. You can't lock down. Again, we're growing at levels that nobody's ever seen before. Our plan is unleashing a rapid recovery. Our opponent's plan would hurt America very badly, send us into a depression. And with all of that being said, we are going to be having a very exciting Saturday at 5 o'clock in the Rose Garden, where I'll be putting forth my nominee for Supreme Court Justice. And I think it will be a great nominee, brilliant nominee. As you know, it's a woman. We brought it down to 5 women. It's time for a woman to be chosen with everything that's happened and with Justice Ginsburg's passing. We are going to go sometime tomorrow morning, as I understand it, to pay our respects, and we'll be over there. And I guess they probably put that announcement out, but that'll be done tomorrow morning. The Vice President was there today. And so if you have any questions, we'll take a few questions. Yeah.
Right here, Mr. President, real quickly, win, lose, or draw in this election, will you commit here today for a peaceful transferal of power after the election? And there has been rioting in Louisville. There's been rioting in many cities across this country, red and your so-called red and blue states. Will you commit to making sure that there is a peaceful transferal of power after the election?
Well, we're going to have to see what happens. You know that I've been complaining very strongly about the ballots, and the ballots are a disaster.
I understand that, but people are rioting. Do you commit to making sure that there's a peaceful transferal of power?
We want to get rid of the ballots, and you'll have a very peaceful. There won't be a transfer, frankly. There'll be a continuation. The ballots are out of control. You know it. And you know who knows it better than anybody else? The Democrats know it better than anybody else. Go ahead.
Mr. President, the second question is, will you?
Please go ahead.
Why won't you?
You asked the question.
Why won't you?
Mr. President,
Why won't
do you
you go
plan
after the
to
Russians?
Say it.
Mr. President, do you plan to meet with Barbara Lagoa at the White House?
I cannot hear you through your mess.
I'm sorry. Do you plan to meet with Barbara Lagoa in Washington? And is she still on your short list?
She is on my list. I don't have a meeting planned, but she is on my list.
Your video needs to grab attention.
Whoa, whoa, whoa!
Do you have
But I don't really talk about the meetings planned. I speak to people, I talk to people, but I don't have a meeting planned. No.
Do you have a response to the governor of Missouri testing positive for coronavirus?
I didn't know that. No.
Yeah.
Yeah, Joe.
Mr. President, we asked you earlier today about the Breonna Taylor case.
Yes.
Could you comment now? I assume you've been briefed on the charges in the Breonna
Well, I thought
Taylor
it was
case.
really brilliant. Kentucky Attorney General Daniel Cameron is doing a fantastic job. I think he's a star. And he made a statement that I'll just read. Justice is not often easy. It does not fit the mold of public opinion, and it does not conform to shifting standards. It adds only to the facts and to the law. If we simply act on emotion or outrage, there's no justice. Mob justice is not justice. Justice sought by violence is not justice. It just becomes revenge. I mean, write that down for me, please, because I think it was a terrific statement. He's handling it very well. You know who he is, right? I think you know. I think everyone now knows who he is. I will be speaking to the governor, and we have a call scheduled to make very shortly with the governor. I understand he's called up the National Guard, which is a good thing. I think it's a very positive thing. And it'll all work out.
Can I just follow on your Supreme Court nominee? It's highly unlikely that any Democrats will vote for your nominee. When it comes to a vote in the Senate.
We don't know.
Given the posture,
Good candidate.
I think that's a pretty safe assumption. But on that point, would you want to nominate someone who, in their confirmation to the appellate court, received broad bipartisan support, or would you be more inclined to put forward somebody whose confirmation fell along party lines?
I can't tell you what's going to happen with the Democrats. I can say this, the person that I will be putting up, and I won't say that I've even chosen that person yet. I could say any one of the five. They're outstanding women. But the person I'll be putting up is highly qualified, totally brilliant, top of the line academic student, the highest credentials. All of them have that, but the highest credentials. And you'll see on Saturday who that is. I can't imagine why a Democrat wouldn't vote for this person. But you may be right.
Mr. President.
I'd bet on you. I'd probably bet on you. Yeah, please, go ahead.
Thank you very much.
No, not you.
Thank you, Mr. President. Prince Harry and Meghan Markle chimed in on the U.S. election and essentially encouraged people to vote for Joe Biden. What do you get your reaction to that?
Stop watching aquaponics videos. I did aquaponics for 5 years. I taught classes on aquaponics.
I'm not a fan of hers. And I would say this, and she probably has heard that, but I wish a lot of luck to Harry, because he's going to need it.
Mr. President, the FDA is reportedly considering stricter guidelines for the emergency authorization of a COVID vaccine. Are you okay with that?
Well, I tell you what, we're looking at that. That has to be approved by the White House. We may or may not approve it. That sounds like a political move, because when you have Pfizer, Johnson & Johnson, Moderna, these great companies coming up with the vaccines, and they've done testing and everything else, I'm saying, why would they have to be, adding great length to the process? We want to have people not get sick. The vaccine is very important. It's the final step. I believe it's going to be the final step. And no, we're looking at that, but I think that was a political move more than anything else.
On that, sir, it's designed to improve trust in the vaccine. Do you think that's not needed?
Well, I have tremendous trust in these massive companies that are so brilliantly organized in terms of what they've been doing with the tests. I mean, I don't know that a government as big as we are could do tests like this. We've made it possible for them to do the tests in rapid fashion. But when they come back and they say that we have something that works and absolutely works, and they're coming back with great numbers and statistics and tests and everything else that they have to come back with, I don't see any reason why it should be delayed further, because if they delay it a week or 2 weeks or 3 weeks, you know, that's a lot of lives you're talking about. Scott, would you agree with that, or how do you feel about that?
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, I mean, there is no, I think that people don't understand what's going on with Operation Warp Speed. It's unprecedented what's happened here. A typical vaccine takes roughly 4 years or so. And now we're going to have a vaccine highly likely in far less than 1 year, but without cutting any safety corners, because the president has done things concomitant to the development of the vaccine. That is the manufacturing, the logistics, everything is being done at the same time, and that's never been done before. But there is zero cutting of safety concerns. There should be no hesitation about the safety. You shouldn't be punished by doing something faster than other people could have done or thought. It's the opposite. We have a pandemic.
Hi, I'm Brad Callen, and in this video, I'm going to show you how anyone can quickly and easily create doodle videos, just like
the urgency is the pandemic, not politics.
Are you amending?
It sounded to me, it sounded extremely political. Why would they do this when we come back with these great results? And I think you will have those great results. Why would we be delaying it? But we're going to look at it. We're going to take a look at it, and ultimately the White House has to approve it. And maybe we will, and we won't, but we'll be taking a look. I have to leave for an emergency phone call. I'm going to let Scott and Larry finish that. Larry's going to talk about it. So I'll be back. I will see you tomorrow.
Mr. President, just one more question on Breonna Taylor. We're at a time right now where Americans feel like we are on this carousel. Mr. President, just one more question if I can on Breonna Taylor. People are protesting in the streets. What is your message to them? People feel like we are on this carousel where another Black life is being taken.
So here we have Dr. Scott Atlas and Larry Kudlow. I encourage you all to be respectful and show a little bit of decorum.